last year in 2024, the MCU had a bit of an off year. They only released one superhero film. So with the schedule pretty much clear, our favorite movie studio, Sony Pictures, took this opportunity by the balls and released their SPUMC upon us all. We got 3 new entries into their universe of Spider-Man films without Spider-Man in them. 2 out of these 3 flopped spectacularly. One made a modest profit that may have been able to cover the losses of the others, but we're really not sure. And on the same day their last film released, it was announced that this universe has come to an end. So we have gathered here today to mourn the loss of SPUMC. I am the Morbin Colonel, and with me is the man who has a list, and once you're on it, you never come off, Rich McCoy.
That's right. The man who luckily has Russell Crowe as a father to drunkenly kind of just waddle through scenes and lecture at me in a poor Russian accent.
Mm-hmm. And also with me is the only man who was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died, Florian Imsel.
I don't get that reference.
I don't get that
Florian.
That's Madam Web. That's what they say in the trailer, and then everyone made fun of it and they cut it out of the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Must not have seen that trailer. Damn.
Yeah. So
just went in blind as usual.
So Florian, we want you to guess here. What do you think SPUMC stands for? SPUMC.
I mean, it's so strange. Does S stand for Spider or for Sony?
What do you think? That's up to you.
Spider, I guess.
No.
Spider, no, wrong.
No.
For the first.
Well done.
The first one automatically wrong.
M movie?
No.
What?
Yeah.
Let's start with M. What are okay? Universe is one of them. We got 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
What do you think M would be with these characters? Not Morbius. M. What company are they all part of? M.
Marvel. I see.
Marvel. There we go. Okay, so SP Universe of Marvel. Let's try C. Marvel C's.
What could C and P possibly be? Wow. Pictures?
What could CP
pictures?
Possibly be?
P is pictures, no. You're right.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Comic. It's gonna be comics.
No. Yeah, I can't blame you for thinking that.
No comics, pictures.
No.
Well, no idea then.
Okay.
Oh, I have to keep guessing.
Okay.
Ah, jeez.
It's the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters. That's the full title. Yeah.
I would have never guessed characters.
Yeah,
because it has to be Marvel characters because they don't own Marvel, so it's Marvel, just they own some of their characters, namely the ones that are tied in with Spider-Man.
Anything tied in with Spider-Man, basically, right?
It's also been called SPUM, the Sony Pictures Universe of Marvel Movies, or SPUMC, or SSU, Sony Spider-Man Universe sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty inconsistent on the name, They never nailed that out before it died.
Yeah, it makes sense that it would have Spider-Man in it,
Yeah.
Probably no Spider-Man though, I guess.
Mm-hmm. No Spider-Man, which is it's been the defining thing for me, at least for these movies, is the fact that all of these are movies about Spider-Man villains and Spider-Man is not in them. He's in the post credits. He's on TV in the post credits of Let There Be Carnage when he goes to another reality. Because that's a whole other thing, is the way that they keep trying to tie it in with the MCU and with other things, and they keep doing bizarre universal shenanigans to try to make something work, and none of it stuck. They all just got sent back to their universe.
When characters switch over to other universes and then either come back over or stay there. I believe that currently, if you count those movies, the Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming is currently in the same universe as Morbius and Venom and all of the SPUMC. He's trapped in SPUMC as far as we know.
Yeah, forever.
Right now.
So Probably forever. Because
we will
unless
never
they bring
see.
him back in,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Secret
I wonder
War
if they'll
something.
try to. Will they try to explain how he got back, or will they just ignore it and say the Morbius after credit sequence is not canon to the MCU?
It would be the biggest like middle finger in the whole world if they just like ignored it entirely. That's like how you know it's really
so funny.
over. It's really
That's-
Morb
yeah.
over forever.
That is the final death. Like, you know how they say that, like, when you die, you're not truly dead. You only die when your memories have died, and everyone who's
when
remember
the
you
last
died.
guy says
When-
your name or whatever, yeah.
Yes. When they don't recognize you in other Marvel movies is when Spunk has died its
Yeah.
last death.
You know, I hope they give it a send off. I hope in Secret War we get like a shot of Jared Leto morbing out or something like that. I hope we get some of it come back.
The clear one is Venom, right? They would
Well,
have
yeah,
Venom show up,
but-
and that's how you would get a symbiote suit.
I mean, for Secret Wars, I want them to bring back like 90s Fantastic Four and like 70s Spider-Man. Like, I want them to do everything, honestly, in that. So, because it's the multiverse, it's the
Dolph
whole
Lundgren
point.
Punisher.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everything they've ever done. But especially
gonna get it.
Spunk is what I want the most out of it.
Do you really think they'll do that? That's very strange.
Yeah.
I mean, there have already been several crossovers. One of them we already
Yeah.
talked about, but Venom also spent some time in the Marvel universe.
Venom is
Entirely
in
in
No
after
Way
credit
Home.
sequences in one bar.
Yeah, this movie made like $2 billion, and well, out of being like a major Spider-Man MCU movie, and Venom's in it. Tom Hardy, Venom, is in it forever. And it's so strange because the reason all of this has happened, right, is because in like the 90s, Sony bought up the rights to Spider-Man and all Spider-Man characters, and the deal is something like if a character appears first in a Spider-Man comic, then they can just make movies about it forever. And as long as they don't miss like 3 years or 5 years or whatever without making a movie with these characters, then they just have them in
They
perpetuity.
can hold on to those rights.
Yeah.
Right.
And this deal was made for like a one-time payment of like $60,000 or some shit. It's like a ridiculously small amount of money, and it's like messed up the whole thing because now Marvel has to make deals with Sony every time they want to put Spider-Man in an Avengers movie or whatever. It's like a whole giant mess because of that. But it's
Wow, that's insane.
yeah, but it's given us Spunk, and I guess we should ask right off the bat, what's your guys' favorite Spunk film?
It's gonna be Madam Web, I guess.
I was say, once upon a time, it would have been one of the Venom movies. It probably would have been, I don't know, the original Venom.
Yeah.
But now it is clearly Madame Web.
It's we're in agreement because that has to. I fucking loved watching Madam Web. I was so joyful watching that and seeing all the things happen, and just
I mean,
Just
I
how the web
saw
connects
it.
them all.
yeah,
I
her
saw it
web
in the
connected
cinema. Saw it in the cinema when it came out, and I was really hyped. And then I was shocked that people thought it was like a joke or whatever.
Yeah.
But
It is a
never
joke, though.
affected me.
It is. Yeah.
But I for this video I rewatched Morbius, and I wasn't that into it. It's weird. I could have sworn that there were scenes in the movie that weren't in the movie. Maybe there were scenes from Madam Web that I thought were in Morbius. Like, for example, I thought that there was like a scene that explained why he was on that helicopter in the start, but I must have either missed it or it wasn't there, so that was shocking.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's so
Well,
weird
'cause
to just
Morbius, he
just
wanted
introduce.
to. Sorry.
They just introduced this hero, well, this character who's supposed to be like non-evil, and he's constantly tortured by the fact that he craves blood, you know. But then in the start, he's just like, "Hey, you guys, you and your helicopter, get fucked. Here's some bats that will kill you." Like, why'd he do that? If he's like so torn up about all the murders that happen later.
I think
so
he
bizarre.
just. I don't think the bats would have killed them or whatever. I guess they probably would have just flown away, right? Or I don't know.
They
'Cause I
were
don't
getting
remember,
in the
did they show them
helicopter.
dying? Well, they were probably scared of him, right?
They cut away. Well, if they're trying to take off in a helicopter and they get swarmed by bats, I assume it would probably crash like a plane where birds flow in the engine.
I don't know. I thought the helicopter was like grounded, right? Like they landed, didn't they? Or I don't know.
Well, they were running to the helicopter, I guess. So I assume they would have tried to take off and then would have died, but it cuts away, so we don't know. But I'm pretty sure they would have died, otherwise he wouldn't have cut away.
I don't know. I think they're fine. But yeah,
Totally.
Morbius is one of the weirder. It's probably the single weirdest one out of them because Morbius is such like a not big character at all, and he doesn't scream like movie potential to me outside of the fact he's like a vampire man, and they've made vampire movies. So it's, I don't know.
I mean, I love superhero movies and I love vampires, so this was perfect. But then I don't know. I'm tired of it now, I guess.
Well, because they don't really lean into it being like a horror movie outside of the one scene on the boat where he kills everyone. That there's like, after that, he's just sort of a superhero, and he like flies around with purple smoke and whatever. So
it's so weird. They must have done this in a trailer, but I swear I've seen a movie where they like played coy about what happened on the boat, but then like in this boat you just see like you see everything that happens on the boat, and it's just like, oh, he did his experiment, and then the mercenaries came in with guns, and then he attacked them, and he was a full-on vampire.
Yeah, he morbed out and he killed them all. That's what Morbius does, I guess, in this anyway. I don't think he doesn't like turn into a normal guy in the comics. I think he's just always a vampire man.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the 90s cartoon, he sucks the plasma out of them with suckers on his hands because they can't put blood in this cartoon. That's fun.
That's very silly. Wow.
Yeah. And in Morbius's first comic appearance, he was famously eaten to death by sharks at the end of that. Spider-Man like pushed him into the ocean. Yeah, and he got eaten by sharks.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I guess sharks are one of the vampire's weaknesses. I don't know how they would recover from sharks.
It's one of those weaknesses where it's like, oh, if you decapitate a vampire, they die, and it's like, well, if you decapitate a guy, they die too, you know. If a guy gets eaten by sharks, they're gonna die. So I guess that's everyone's weakness. That's pretty good.
Well, I mean, it's pretty strange when you're supposed to be like immortal, but then decapitation still kills you.
Well, that's because they're wandering corpses or whatever, and you take their head off and you destroy the heart, then you destroy what they are as a person or whatever, because there's the brain and the soul. Well, they don't have a soul anymore, and you know, they used to think people were contained inside their heart, but they knew that the brain was also pretty important and stuff. So you know, there's
I guess it's like pretty arbitrary.
Yeah, I mean, it's all like folklore. So,
but yeah, like people act like it's so hard to kill a vampire, but I guess like, I mean, if you shoot them, is that worse? Like you need silver bullets, but then like taking off the head works too. So if you just shoot the neck, will that work too? I don't know.
If you were to shoot a vampire such that you shot enough bullets through its neck to sever the neck from the body, I think it probably would die. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? So why they bother with those silver bullets? Jeez, just use more bullets.
That's yeah. I don't know.
Saw him in half.
Yeah. Morbi, honestly, I feel like because I watched two of these last night. I watched Madam Web and I watched Craven, and I feel like out of all the SPUMC movies, Madam Web is by far the most interesting one to me because it is. I
think it's the best well-made movie. Like,
yeah, because it looks good. A lot of it looks really good.
Segment.
Stuff. Yeah.
I think it's got some fun performances, especially like Adam Scott and what's her name?
Dakota Johnson.
Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
Dakota Johnson is just at this point one of my favorite actors, just because she has such a snarky kind of smarmy presence she can bring to something that just makes it seem like she's having a terrible time.
Yeah, and in Madam Web, she's like upset about that. Like she's like, "Oh, I've been saddled with these fucking teenagers, and I don't want to put up with any of them, but I have to because I'm not gonna let them die." So
she abandons them in the woods. She just like stay here.
Yeah, I was watching it, right, and I was thinking like, oh well, yeah, her origin is that her mother died in Peru or whatever, right? But I was like, well, if they're being chased, there's no fucking way she abandons them and goes to fucking Peru in the middle of this goddamn movie. And then she does, yeah, she's like, okay, I'm just gonna go to Peru for a week, and I'm like, what? You're gonna you're gonna leave. They're gonna die. They're gonna get caught by this
So
insane
funny.
man.
It's so incredible.
Yeah, she should have brought them to Peru if she's gonna go to fucking Peru for a week. You know, it's like she just goes there and
they were pretty unruly. They would have been fine if they had just laid low, okay?
probably.
They should have been
I
dancing
guess.
on those tables.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
believe you're putting this on her. Like, all they had to do was not that, okay? Would have been so simple.
Yeah, she's like, okay, well, the fact that she made such a big deal though about the fact that she can't like leave them alone, like in the like she's like, oh, I gotta go for a minute just to go back home or whatever, so she leaves them in the woods. But then she's okay with leaving them for a week to go to Peru, and in my head I'm thinking like, oh, well, if you go to Peru and go into the Amazon jungle, like this is a journey that you're gonna have to plan for like months, probably getting like guides and stuff, because you can't just go into the Amazon and wander through fucking the Peruvian jungle and like know what you're doing or where you're going.
Wait, did she have her powers of clairvoyance yet?
She did, yeah. So she would
yeah.
see.
Well, fine then.
But she doesn't know where to go though, right? Like where exactly I guess she brought her mom's journal, and her mom's journal had like go turn left at this rock or something to go find the spider cult or whatever. Like,
Yeah, it seems like she had it figured out.
I guess it's
wouldn't
just
have taken that much planning for her to go there.
I thought it was really silly and came out of nowhere that she just goes to Peru, and it's like I don't think they even showed a scene of her like going to the airport or on the plane or anything. They just sort of, she's like, I'm going to Peru, and the next shot is in Peru, I think, on like a bus.
Yeah, and her like family was there with a group of like Spider-Man-esque tribesmen or whatever, and they tell her all about the exposition or whatever, and it's just so funny.
Yeah. And, you know,
It's so funny that I just thought that Morbius went on this adventure, you know, that's why he had the bats and the plane and the helicopter. But no, that
Wait, what country was Morbius in?
I mean, I don't know, whatever. It's like a bat cave where he got superpowers, and then she went to a spider cave where she got superpowers. It must have been pretty similar, okay?
Okay, he went to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
That's not the point. I'm just saying that I thought that was in the Morbius movie, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
okay.
Both of these movies have like scenes where people go into the jungle to figure things out.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Right.
I can see why you got your wires crossed, because these are derivative of each other like a lot. So,
When the Venom symbiote first crashed down to Earth, didn't it land in like Southeast Asia or something?
Ooh.
A woman there walked out of the jungle. There's a team.
Yeah, they all go to the jungle. And Craven is from, he's from the
jungle.
savannah and stuff, but that's close enough. The lion's the king of the jungle, and the lion is a big part of Craven.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
we figured it out.
That unites these movies more than anything else. Because to be clear, Madam Web is not in the main SPUMC universe. It's in like its own fucking universe, which has like Peter Parker and stuff. So it's like a whole
yeah, it's a weird thing where it's like they are Richard Parker and his wife or whatever, and they are trying to like name their kid, but they never say Peter Parker.
Yeah,
they like make it a game where like she's supposed to guess what it is or something.
Yeah, and they're teasing like Uncle Ben as if they're like big Marvel, like they are big Marvel characters, but they're teasing them the way that you tease like a superhero, and it just comes off weird when you're watching them. Yeah, you're watching this movie and they're like, "Oh, Ben is so excited to become an uncle," and it's like you're supposed to cheer in the audience or some shit that this guy.
It's like, she said Uncle Ben. Yes.
Yeah, this guy's brother's gonna have a fucking kid. Like, it's so good.
It's just so funny. It's so prioritized in the wrong way.
Yeah.
But then Madam Web messes up the baby shower or whatever. That was amazing.
Yeah,
it's so awkward. It's so great. She plays it so well.
Yeah, but it's weird though, because it like most of the things I love about Madam Web is the parts where it's like failing and like stepping on its own face and stuff. But that scene is like actually pretty well executed, because she's actually like gets all awkward about it and everyone reacts appropriately, and it's like
when Dakota Johnson's energy aligns with what the script is trying to do, it's almost perfect.
Yeah,
because like her character is just so checked out and so kind of like why is any of this happening to me, in a way that's not like amazed or like it's fantastic. It's like, why is this bothersome thing happening to me?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
And you know, I imagine that's how she felt. Like she was bringing like a bit of her real life. Like, why the fuck am I doing this? Why am I in this movie?
Why am I in this movie? What is this movie? Why is this what I'm part of?
Mm-hmm. And like all the other protagonists of well, Venom is not, but like Morbius and Kraven, they're so like self-serious, and they're so like big and crazy and whatever. Like they're taking it in a very different kind of way than Dakota Johnson is playing Cassandra Webb, who she does seem like pretty realistically like unhappy with the situation, but like putting up with it.
Yeah, right.
Dude, I felt for how annoying those teenage brats were so much. Oh my god, she's just perfectly conveyed her role. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't not talk about the villain of the movie.
Of course, Ezekiel Sims.
Like Ezekiel Sims, the bad voiceover for him. Where I don't know whether the actor just gave a terrible performance or he couldn't be understood, so they had to just completely do over the voice, and it's just so clearly not him talking. It's great.
Every line is like, it sounds dubbed, and sometimes you can tell it's dubbed. Sometimes he's clearly like whoever they got in is like doing the right inflections and stuff. Sometimes he's not, and it feels more like you're watching an anime or something where the dubbing is really bad.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah. I wrote down some of his lines which I really liked. He goes, "Give me the spider, just give it to me. You could just walk away." At the start, when he shoots her mom and stuff, you know, and it's just every line just sounds weird, and they play like the "you could just walk away." They play that like over and over and over throughout the movie. Whenever her web is connecting them and stuff, she gets like flashbacks and shit. It's like, it sounds awful.
The other thing that I just find so funny is at the end of the movie when she's got her powers and she's using them, and like it's a big hero moment supposedly. Like her only real power is to be in multiple places at once, but she kind of can't really do much. So it's just kind of her like ghostly figure just kind of sitting next to these other characters being like, can you do this to try to get out?
He's like, come on, you're doing so good.
Her power. Yeah.
Her power.
She's kind of a moral support for them, but it's Dakota Johnson doing it. So she's just like, I don't know, can you like move your wrist or something?
Yeah. Well, like the through line of the movie is like motherhood and stuff, you know, because her mother died, and you know Mary Parker is having a kid and stuff, and she is like learning to be a caretaker for these teenagers, and she's like at the end of the movie she learns to be supportive of all three of them at the same time, and that's her superpower, is to encourage them to get up and keep fighting and stuff. And get out of their situation.
It's so funny, and it's so funny that's her power. Like this actress who could not possibly care is supposedly the like person who is convincing them that they can do it. It's so fucking funny.
And then she ends the movie, and she like can't walk at the end of the movie. I don't remember what causes her to not be able to walk. Is it just, I guess Ezekiel punched her really hard maybe and then broke her spine or something. But then, and she's also blind.
Remember, but I will be returning. Yeah.
Well, she's also blind, and there's nothing that should have made her blind, but you know, it's just the movie ends this way. We've already written it this way, but we need her to become Madam Web as seen in the famous 90s cartoon and in the comics where she can't walk and she's blind.
She has white hair, and she's in a big chair.
Yeah. So she has to end that way. Her injuries have to result in those specific attributes, regardless of if the things that happen in the movie lead into that. So
one more moment that I do remember, and it's just an insane line from the movie, is when she's like learning about what her mother did to like save her or whatever, because she went to the Amazon to drink some kind of I don't know, herb or something, so that she would not have a neurodegenerative disorder or something.
Yeah.
And Madam Web just says, but wait, I don't have a neurodegenerative disorder. It's like, no, you don't, because your mom helped you.
I think it was the spider bites, because the spider bit her mom as she was dying. Right before she gave birth. It was like a second before the baby came out of her in the water there. Yeah. So, and
it's meant to be our hero.
I do think it's one thing they sort of almost do is like I thought they were going to go in a direction where like all of the other Spider Women have like different attributes of Spider-Man, but like turned up to 11, you know? Because she has the clairvoyance, she has the spider sense, but it's like really big, you know?
Right.
And then maybe like one of them could stick to walls really good and use it to like grab people and stuff, or you know? But then the other Spider Women aren't even in the movie. They're in like a flashback or a flash forward, like future vision that Ezekiel has, and then they're in like the last shot, and that's the only times they appear. So it's like we kind of know their powers, but not really.
It's such a tease that it's like they're going to get their spider powers or they're going to be superheroes, and then it's really just a flash forward of them for about 20 seconds, and that's about it.
Yeah, but you bet your ass all those shots are in the trailer though, so you know,
for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is another theme, I think, throughout these movies, is that a lot of stuff is in them just because they want to be in the trailer, and it's like it's more transparent than usual, I think, for these movies, where it's like, yeah, they're the only reason any of this is happening is so it goes in the trailer.
Well, I was looking forward to seeing these women become Spider Women. Okay, what a shame.
They better show up in Marvel's Secret Wars. Okay, they better come because I think Madam Web should fight Loki, because Loki holds the whole multiverse together at the end of the Loki show and everything.
Yeah.
But her web connects them all, and she is like a multiversal, like time spanning character too now. So like she should, you know, because she has visions of the future and she can be
web
wherever.
Is between all of the branches of the multiverse. Yeah,
it should be, and that like she should make a big spider web in the giant tree at the end of Loki, and that's. They live in the web in the tree.
That would be beautiful.
Like, yeah.
Well, they should definitely bring
so
Dakota Johnson into the MCU. You're right. That would be great.
It would be.
One day.
So Madam Web, I think, is the highlight. What do you guys think is the worst film of the SPUMC?
I think probably Kraven.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's Venom 3.
Okay.
I mean, Venom 3 was bad, but Kraven was like so bad to begin with. I mean, Venom 3 ruins Venom, but Kraven, like, it could have, it didn't even have anything good to start out with, you know? Like, it's like, oh, I wish they could.
Kraven had Russell Crowe doing a hilarious Russian accent, kind of just that. Like looking fat and like waddling across scenes in the movie, which to me I found vaguely fun. Okay. I also like the actor who played Rhino, Alessandro Nivola. He was also in The Brutalist this year. What a what a duo of movies to be part of. Yeah. The Brutalist and Kraven the Hunter.
Which one is he up for an Oscar for again?
Kraven, I think, the great role of the Rhino.
That's good.
And then I've always loved now I can't remember the chameleon as a character. So the fact that there was a chameleon in this, I think, is very entertaining, and I liked his whole thing. I liked his shtick that he like took on people's voices and did all that stuff. I think this movie has way too much going on in it. It's like they knew that Kraven was not enough to establish, so like they just threw 6 other things in it to be like, okay, now we are a full superhero movie. But it really didn't need all that.
Well, because who are the villains in this, right? There's Kraven, who's an anti-hero. There's Calypso, who's a comic character as well. I don't know, she's not really like a villainous kind of role or anything. She's a love interest.
No, she kind of just helps Kraven. As a love interest. Yeah.
Then there's evil old Kraven, he's like more in line with classic Kraven. His dad is sort of. Then there's Chameleon. Then there's Rhino. Then there's the Foreigner, who's like he says 1, 2, 3, and he shoots you. Like,
oh my god, that was the dumbest tower I've ever seen. Jesus.
Yeah, his hypnosis was not very good.
I like the concept of his hypnosis thing, but it's not particularly well done in the movie.
Yeah,
I will say that.
All he does is use it to like freeze people for a second, so it's like I don't know. And then they also mention Miles Warren, the Jackal. They mention him.
Yeah.
So There's so much going on in it, yeah, which is fun.
But the guy just counts and then he shoots the guy. This is the lamest power ever. How could this have been any good?
I honestly don't even remember what his role in the movie is. Is he just there to like kill people and that's it?
He's like,
he just blows my mind with how he does that. Oh.
The Foreigner is so at one point there's a scene where the Rhino is like, oh, we've got to hire a guy to get him, and then it just cuts to the Foreigner doing something somewhere else, and then like 20 minutes later, then the Foreigner actually shows up and fights Kraven, and he explains later that Kraven killed his like friend or something, or his dad or somebody, so he's got like a personal motivation. But the Foreigner's scenes up until they fight each other feel very disconnected from the rest of the movie, and I was like, what's going on?
Yeah,
where is anything? Like, where are we? So
now that I'm thinking out the movie, I guess I like the scene where they fought at that monastery and then everything collapsed. I guess there was like occasionally sometimes there was good adventure when they went and hunted stuff across the planet.
Yeah.
But then like sometimes he would just whistle and then a CGI animal would kill someone and it was the lamest shit ever.
Yeah, the bear got them at the end. That bear is it's in competition with like the New Mutants bear for me, and I think Kraven's a little bit worse off.
Demon bear.
Yeah, I like that bear in New Mutant. New Mutant surprised me a little bit by being like almost a real movie and stuff.
Yeah, New Mutants is like 70% of the way there.
Yeah, Kraven.
Wow,
I thought Kraven was like
about New Mutants. Wow.
Yeah, I was kind of offended by Kraven, honestly, because it's like it's so by the numbers. It's so like we had a skeleton of a script and we plugged in these characters and we made a few adjustments to make room for more Spider-Man references. But like all of it, it's just like, oh, this is the most stock movie I've ever seen ever, and like they make no effort to elevate it.
Hunter, if you're making a Kraven the Hunter movie and that movie is not Kraven's Last Hunt, where he hunts Spider-Man, like what are you even doing?
Yeah,
why are you making this movie?
The movie for Kraven is Kraven gets introduced and then he kills himself at the end. That's what you do for Kraven, because those are his two like. You have his introduction and then you have when he dies, and that's like the only things that are interesting is like Spider-Man being shocked that he exists and that he's like how he is, and then Spider-Man being very shocked when he shoots himself in the head with a shotgun. Like those are those are what you want out of him. And but they made a Kraven movie with no Spider-Man, and none of these have Spider-Man in them, despite being a Spider-Man universe. And it's such a bizarre choice to me that they did this.
And like, what's weird to me is that is a choice they made consciously. It's not like they couldn't use Spider-Man. It's not that they didn't have a Spider-Man to use. They could either make up a new Spider-Man that's going to be their Spider-Man for this universe that just shows up. Maybe they getting an actor for that wouldn't be easy to do, because you kind of have to be like the title character, but also not be in it all that much. So I don't know why.
You could almost do it like it's like a reverse Spider-Man movie where it's about the villain and we follow like Venom throughout the whole movie or whatever, but like at the end he does fight Spider-Man. Like throughout the movie he fights him a couple times and then like they do battle and then he loses and he goes to jail and then they form the Sinister Six or whatever, but it's like
that would have been so much better. Damn it! Wow.
Yeah, because what people want out of these movies is to you don't need we understand Spider-Man. You don't need to like reestablish him in these movies. Really, I feel like you could just have a CGI Spider-Man, and from their perspective, just get a voice actor. Like they don't know that he's Peter Parker. They don't know about his Aunt May or whatever. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
So they could just fight Spider-Man in these movies, and then in the second, in fucking Let There Be Carnage, that Spider-Man teams up with Venom like they do in the comics, and they beat Carnage together. Like,
yeah.
But it's like
that makes Venom 3 even worse, because they could have just done Spider-Man. Really, are you sure they had the rights to do Spider-Man?
They own the exclusive film rights to Spider-Man, and they can Marvel's the one who has to make deals to make them put Spider-Man in Avengers, but they've totally seeded it for some reason.
Why wouldn't they do it? That's so insane.
I think it's just if they're in their head, they're like, oh well, if we put a Spider-Man in and he's not as good as Tom Holland, then they're gonna crucify us or something. They're gonna storm the offices. I don't know. They're so scared to do it for some reason, and I don't really understand why. They could have just the thing everyone wanted was for Andrew Garfield to show up, and he's the Spider-Man of this world,
this
right?
universe, yeah, right.
Because none of these contradict like Amazing Spider-Man 2 or whatever, you know? They could have done that if they really wanted to. But like...
Yeah, that would have been great. Wow.
Yeah.
This is even more disappointing than that they really messed this up. Wow.
The weirdest thing with Spider-Man though is do you guys remember in the Morbius trailer, there's a part where, like the first trailer for it, there's a scene that's not in the final movie where Morbius goes down like an alleyway and there's a picture of the Spider-Man PS4 loading screen.
Right.
with the Raimi suit on, and it's clearly the Sam Raimi version.
The Raimi suit. Yeah,
and it says but it has the word murderer like graffitied over the picture, which at that point in this universe that implies Tom Holland after Far From Home, right?
Exactly. Right.
So it's like I have no fucking idea what their plan was with that. If like he was gonna show up. If like they were gonna be like, oh well, this isn't like Morbius is in the Raimi universe, but also he also killed Mysterio or has been framed for killing Mysterio or something. Like I don't.
They either didn't know what they had access to, and they're just putting shit into the trailer to get any kind of interest or fan kind of like interest part of it. But it just is not.
I never even considered it. Could have just been like a cynical marketing ploy, actually, to get people to talk about the movie. That's true.
Yeah.
Fuck. Man.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's
trade by marketing again. What a shame.
Yeah. That's that's a theme with these, right? Because Venom 3 is advertised on Null showing up, and he's in exactly like 2 minutes of it at the start and end or whatever. So, like Null is supposed to be like the biggest Venom villain, and then for Venom 3 he's just fighting like these monsters that aren't Null, and then Venom is no more because Venom leaves him. But I guess they were gonna do Null in a future Venom, maybe, even though it's the last.
I have
Venom,
no idea what they were gonna do with that because it's the last
Venom.
It's the last one with Tom Hardy, as far as we know. I don't know whether they would have tried to like say that Venom went to a different host. Are they going to try to do Flash Thompson, Agent Venom?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Didn't Venom die?
They parted ways or something, right? He says,
no,
"I missed
they
you,
fried
buddy."
him. He sacrificed himself.
There was a little bit of him.
You can always come back.
There was a little bit of him left over.
Mm-hmm. How convenient.
At the end of Spider-Man 3, there's a little after he blows up Venom in that movie, there's a little bit of Venom that's on fire that walks away, right? And when I was a kid, I thought that would because it's on fire, it's going to turn red, and that's going to be Carnage in Spider-Man 4. Because I didn't know how Carnage worked or anything, or what his backstory was. I just knew he was red. So, that could have been exciting. Because this does all go back to that too. It's like they wanted to do like a Venom spin-off from Spider-Man 3, which is, I don't understand how you do that, because it's Topher Grace and he gets blown up, right? So like, I don't know what they were gonna do, but like they wanted this Venom universe for so long. Like Avi Arad in particular sort of pushes for Venom because he bought Marvel Comics in the 90s, and Venom was like the new hotness in the 90s, so he wanted to use him in everything in the movies once he got control of those. So it's really odd, and they but the first Venom movie, it did make like $1 billion almost. It made like, I want to say $850 million or something. So it was
that
was
first
working.
Venom movie and the second Venom movie were pretty successful overall.
Yeah, it was working for them. I don't know why they thought they could do that with Morbius, as if like people had heard of Morbius enough to care and stuff. Which is like, I feel like you can do any market research. You can like pull the people and ask them, have you heard of Venom? Have you heard of this Spider-Man villain? And just sort of maybe choose based on that or something, and not do Morbius, because no one knows who Morbius is.
They must have just thought that Morbius was just such a cool guy, which he was, but then, I don't know, the movie didn't turn out that well.
Yeah. I don't think Morbius has ever been super cool. I don't know. He's Morbius. He's a vampire, and then he gets eaten by sharks, so I don't know.
Wow.
In the comics, there's like a bunch of other vampires who eat Spider-Men and stuff, but I think Morbius is a science vampire, so he's not even really connected into that whole thing.
Well, but isn't Morbius good? Why does he even die?
In the comics, Morbius is just a bad guy.
Obviously, he's a villain.
He's just like villain of the week for this Spider-Man comic in the 80s, yeah, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
But he's so good in this. It's just an alternative Morbius, I guess.
He has a cooler costume
well.
in the comics because he got like some red on him, on his neck or something. He's got like a red bit.
Wow, it's got like a bow tie.
Yeah. I think
Can we
he's.
talk about the true star? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go. I don't have anything.
The true star of Morbius is Matt Smith as Milo.
That's true.
The only one having any fun in the movie.
Yeah, when they do that dance bit to I forgot what the song is, but it's very good.
Yeah.
He's dancing. Yeah.
But then he just kills his girlfriend, and that was all he wanted to do. Ah, jeez.
Yeah. It's
But then she comes back. But damn.
yeah. Is she a vampire now? Do they establish that? I don't remember.
She is.
Okay, that's good. And he feeds her blood and stuff.
Yeah, she bites his lip for some bizarre reason, and then she comes back to life.
Okay.
You know, I was hyped to see her to see Morbius continue to be like a thing, and people like I'd like to see what would have come next. But
Wait,
like,
you thought there was going to be a Morbius sequel?
Well, I mean, but yes, that was
They
the
set
point.
it up for
like,
one with the post credits and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah. So
Yeah, but the first movie was not successful. Like they.
Well,
would
I
not
know
make a
that.
second
I'm just
Morbius.
saying, when I saw it, I would have liked to see what would happen with the characters, you know. But like, obviously now it didn't happen, and now I guess I gotta judge it just on its own merit, and there isn't enough of that, so it's a shame.
Yeah. Yeah.
Morbius had the honor of bombing twice because it bombed really bad the first time and everyone made fun of it, but they made fun of it so much that they thought that they could capitalize on the memes and put it back in theaters. And then
And it once again.
it made like
Did not do well.
$250,000 or something, and that weekend they brought it back. It made like nothing. So then it was all done.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It's just like amazing. Just amazing to me. Yeah. I wrote down overall some of the box office numbers, right? In these 3 movies that they released in 2024, in total they made $660 million. Almost all of that is from Venom 3.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that is less than half of what Deadpool 3 made on its own. So
Well, yeah, but
Wow.
Deadpool 3 was like the biggest thing ever.
yeah, but like if they had let's say Morbius or like Madam Web and Craven were like 10 out of 10 movies, right? They probably would have made more together than Deadpool 3, I would bet. Like if all 3 of them did well.
Well, Madam Web was 10 out of 10.
That's arguable, okay, but like if they were like received well, if all of them were really solid to the point where everyone thought that they were really good and went to see them, then like I feel like they could have made more money than one Marvel movie by releasing 3 of them in this year. So
I mean, I don't think you realize how powerful Marvel is.
I mean,
Like,
but Marvel's like, how much did the Marvels make in 2023 though? Right, that was like 500
well,
million
surprisingly
they made.
little, but
Yeah.
like it should have made more than Miss Mar. Wait, what was Captain Marvel? Because Captain Marvel was kind of terrible, but it was a huge success, you know. So they made a good sequel, and it didn't do that well. That was just tragic.
I think if word of mouth on the Marvels was that it was like really, really good, I think it would have made a lot more money, at least like 800 million or something, right? I think so.
I mean, it was really good.
Well, but
I mean, I
most
think
people
there's a
disagreed,
couple
though,
things.
so.
Yeah, a couple things. Like first off, people aren't fond of the Disney Plus characters, so when they're integrating Miss Marvel and everything, that kind of is a turn off for people. If they didn't watch that show, they feel like this is not for me now. So I feel like that was definitely a negative in the point of the movie.
That's
Tragedy.
Yeah, because that is weird.
That was
'cause most
one of
those
the
characters
better
are from the
shows.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Well,
one of the
there's-
better Marvel shows they made. Miss Marvel.
there's Miss Marvel, and also Photon from WandaVision shows up in that. So, yeah,
Oh yeah.
they're super dependent on those TV shows that I probably very few people compared to the movies have seen.
I mean, I forgot that Photon was from that, so I probably would have been fine.
Well, you know, I mean, yeah, when you go see these movies, they do explain it pretty well and stuff, I think. for the Marvel stuff that is dependent on the shows. But there's the SPUMC, it's hard to wrap your mind around how they thought that this would be like work and be really good and stuff and make them like billions and billions in last years, you know, because like it's just I don't understand why they did that.
I think they got Venom out. They realized, oh, this is a character that has appeal, and we can make more movies like this. And then I think there was some like, was Morbius during the pandemic that it came out?
Oh, that was 2022 or something, I think. Yeah, 2020, April 1st, 2022. So about
so like
April 1st.
Yeah, it was a April Fool's Day surprise. Was Morbius.
So, why?
Like, they had a bunch of movies in the works while Morbius was set to come out. So it's like while Morbius came out as a joke, they probably had some idea that they could make other movies. And Venom 2 was a big success for them. Yeah. I mean, not huge, but it was also a pandemic movie, and the fact that it did in any way well kind of just made them think, oh, well, we should do more of these. And then, like, at that point, the cat was out of the bag, and there was no way it was going to do anywhere close to well.
Well, and Craven got delayed a whole lot. So Craven was actually, like, filming in March of 2022 before they even released Morbius. So they were like kind of deep into production on some of these. So.
Oh no! Yeah. Wow, what a shame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they filmed Madam Web in 2022 as well. So yeah, I guess most of these were probably like too far along to abandon by the time Morbius bombed. Right. So yeah, that's
and like the only super successful one is Venom, and those movies all did fairly well. And like if not for those, the whole series wouldn't have happened. So
yeah, I guess that's sort of. Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're missing some movies here. Which ones haven't we discussed yet?
All the Venom movies, basically. I mean,
yeah, we could go over the Venom stuff. I think Venom is. I just don't. I was not. You know, like people who like it, they talk about how good like Eddie Brock is. I just really didn't care for him at all. So the whole thing just didn't work for me at all.
I like
it's very silly. I like how off the wall Tom Hardy is. What are you gonna say?
Some of it's good. I like when he climbs in the lobster tank. Some of the stuff in the second one where he's like eating, he has like raw chicken, like living chickens wandering around his house and whatever. Some of that's fun.
Yeah. But, like when he's cooking with Venom and like Venom's doing all this crazy shit.
Yeah. I think the voice he's doing gets on my nerves though and stuff, like his accent that he does, and also like the Venom voice also annoys me because it's all filtered and weird, and I don't care for it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I guess
I can see what
pretty filtered.
Yeah, Tom Hardy's always doing a voice. In those two, you know, as Venom and as Bane, he's doing a voice, I guess, is what I mean. But yeah.
Wow. Well, he was Bane. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. It's me, Bane. You know, that was him. Batman, I'm going to break your back, Batman.
That's too good. Damn.
Gotham is ash. Then you have my permission to die.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I really like the first Venom, but then the second one is just like, why are they back to just bickering and being annoying? Like, I thought they were really shaping up to do something cool, and then the third one was so disappointing because they're just like on the run for the entire movie, and then in the end it's just like, oh, actually I can take on 3 of these guys, but we were running away of one of them. Cool.
Honestly, them on the run is not a bad idea. It's just there's no fun in the movie, and it's just kind of like boring. And God, all the scenes at the Area 51 place are just so dreadfully slow, and nothing is happening. And oh my God, I can't believe anyone involved in the last 2 movies, because the writer of the last 2 movies directed the third one. I just can't imagine why they thought that was the direction Venom 3 should go. It's just insane.
I don't know. Well, it's like the part where he's on the run and stuff, at least that has a lot of precedent in the comics, right? Because when he's alone as the lethal protector, he's like going through San Francisco, and he's like he's usually living underground in San Francisco, I think, or at least he is in one of these stories, when there's like a city of like people who have like horse-drawn carriages living underground that Venom has to save and stuff, and that's all fun. But there's they should have done that story instead of Venom 3. They should have had him be in San Francisco and go underground and talk to the like cowboy people down there. But there is like some precedent in this as for Venom as like a solo character. There is like a lot of precedent in general, which is why they thought he would work and why he did work better than the other ones, I think, because there's more to build on and more like of a unique character to do. Whereas I would say definitely Craven and Morbius, they both follow like, we're gonna do the basically Sam Raimi's Spider-Man's like origin movie, but we're gonna do it with like a darker kind of character, and that's most of what they're doing with those. Yeah, Venom 2 is just bizarre, and because you have Woody Harrelson like not giving a shit, just chewing the scenery and being crazy and stuff, and fucking.
I'm so angry that he's not wearing an insane red wig like he was at the end of the first movie.
Yeah, he should have had it.
That would have improved the movie by like tenfold if he was just wearing that the entire time.
It looks
also
like
that second movie is directed by
some shit.
It did. It's a fright wig. That second movie is directed by Andy Serkis, which is just insane.
Yeah, he started.
Wait, the second one?
Yeah, he was directing a lot of stuff around that time. He was doing one of the Jungle Book movies or whatever, one of the live action.
Yeah, he did some weird Jungle Book thing for
the non-Disney
Netflix.
Jungle Book. He did, yeah. So.
I mean, I think I must have seen that. That was so weird.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Christopher Walken?
No, it's a different one.
Yeah.
Confusing.
He's also supposedly he's going to direct an adaptation of Animal Farm. He's been
working on that for a while.
Yeah. Which I'd love to see. Fucking from the creator of Venom, Let There Be Carnage comes Animal Farm. This George Orwell story. I can't wait. But yeah. So I don't know. It's neat because then they also got him to play Null in the post credits and the stuff he's in for Venom 3. So there's quite a lot of Andy Serkis in these,
Well, I just can't wait for Gollum. Okay, that's gonna be so good.
The Gollum solo movie. I forget if he was gonna direct that too or not. I don't remember.
I think so.
He might.
Yeah. I don't trust him to direct like a good movie. I don't think that's gonna happen. Not. So, yeah.
I mean, he'll just do a really good performance. I think if he's in it, then the movie's gonna be good. Okay, like
I hardly even trust Peter Jackson to direct a good movie anymore.
Yeah,
because of the Hobbit movies.
He has just as many misses as hits for those. Well, I'd say the first Hobbit is decent enough, but it is
all right.
It is leading into like all the horrors that follow.
Just from a point of view of with the original Lord of the Rings, he had really good source material to go from.
Yeah.
With whatever spin-off shit that they're going to try to do for this other one, I just don't think he has enough stuff to pull from to make something good.
Yeah. Peter Jackson does good directing work for old Beatles things that he didn't actually direct, but we'll put his name on there as director. So.
Well, and Andy Serkis has this great Gollum game to pull from, so it'll be fine,
Yeah, that's true. They can pull everything from that.
I can't wait for them to do the story with the bird justice. It's gonna be so impactful when he has to do the thing with the bird. Damn.
That's fun because that movie will have to do that same story because that is like the only period in Gollum's life that isn't accounted for or like boring, because there is like all the hundreds of years he was alone, but like that's not anything. You can't make a movie where he just sits there eating goblins for 100 years.
He's just messing around, hiding, doing nothing. Imagine that. That would be a glorious movie.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I'd probably go see it, but I don't know if it would be good.
It couldn't not be good. Okay.
I don't know.
It would just be like a depiction of the mind unraveling.
Yeah.
Things just get worse and worse for him, and he just loses grips of reality.
If you had a perfect director, you could maybe do a one-man show of Gollum going insane or whatever and talking to himself, I guess. But I don't think that's the world we're gonna get. one thing that's really strange to me with these SPUMC movies is that they all of them lead into more things. All of them have setups and post-credit scenes that lead into more different stuff going on in the universe, but none of it would make any sense together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to imagine like a Sinister Six movie that has Morbius. And Venom and
Kraven the
Michael
Hunter
Keaton,
and
Vulture.
Madam Web and Vulture.
Yeah. And is Madam Web like the one they fight in that, or is Madam Web part of the
idea.
Sinister Six? Is she sinister enough? But she's also in another universe though, so like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's so weird.
Purple. What do you think about like? Madam Web could be in the same universe. It's just maybe in the past, right? Because it has to be.
I guess maybe, yeah.
Before Peter Parker was born.
Yeah.
So like it's either in the 2000s, early 2000s, or something.
Yeah, I think it's set 2003 is like firmly like the only firm year that was ever given for it. I don't think they say that in the movie.
Yeah.
Though, so I don't know. But I don't understand why they did that. It's just, I guess, so they don't have cell phones. It's well, there's a lot of social commentary in it about like the NSA and how everyone's under surveillance now, because Ezekiel has a woman who sits in his apartment and looks at screens all day and like listens to every phone call in case like one of these girls is on the phone or something. So, but they're like, it's so weird because it is like a movie right out of like 2003 or something where like they're doing like NSA commentary and it's and it looks like a movie from like back then, you know. I don't think it looks bad, but it does look very dated and weird compared to like a modern superhero movie. But it's like a whole, it's such a weird decision, that they did that. And I just don't get it. Oh.
They must have had a really great plan that now we'll never see. What a shame.
Well, they wanted to get to Sinister Six, which like maybe they would have finally put Spider-Man in that, or they would have like forced Kevin Feige to like sign off on Tom Holland coming in.
Tom Holland coming over. Yeah.
But I don't know, because with Madam Web, the Peter Parker being born in what is it, like 2000? Well, I guess 2003 then. Yeah, he would be born in. So that lines up pretty closely with Civil War, I guess, because Peter would have been 13, 14 or whatever in that, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, because that wouldn't work at all with the other ones because they're all way too old for that. But I don't know.
Because originally Sony was going to do a Sinister Six movie with, I guess, Andrew Garfield being Spider-Man, and Drew Goddard was going to direct it. And that is a movie I think would actually work. Like if you introduce not all of these other ones, if you don't introduce a bunch of one-off dumb villains and you just have a group just for that movie, you could make a fun heist movie with a bunch of villains and then have Spider-Man come near the end of the heist and try to like foil them and have like a big fight near the end. But like I think it would be cool to have a big like heist movie with super villains. That would be fun.
Probably.
Like a good director could nail something like that. So I just wish they'd done something like that instead of fucking
like that Star Trek movie. That's a heist movie with superheroes.
Yeah.
Oh
but nobody cares about anybody in that.
Yeah. I guess so.
Oh, is that the new Star Trek thing?
Also, it was terrible.
Section 31.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the whale one or something from the 80s, but that's not really a heist movie. They just go and do that.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have Star Trek is that 4, I think. Star Trek 4, when they go to the 80s and they rescue the whale. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
The whale heist.
Really good to San Francisco. Star Trek 2.
Yeah, that's a really good one. But I think I don't think Amazing Spider-Man's like Sinister Six would have turned out good either, though, honestly, because when the way that they end Amazing Spider-Man 2 is with like there's a shadowy man in the basement, and in the basement they have backpacks and everyone gets a backpack. There's like a Doc Ock backpack and a fucking there's a Vulture is the other main one I remember. I don't know. There must have been other backpacks, but yeah. Which I feel like that wouldn't have been good.
That's so hilarious. Wow.
Yeah. Because like
I mean, it
all those villains have
sounds
very
pretty
separate
epic.
origins and stuff. That just you can't just have him pick up a backpack and be Spider-Man's villain now. I guess.
Yeah, but like you're gonna say Matt Gargan is a great character.
Well, no,
You're gonna say that his deal isn't just Scorpion with a big scorpion tail on his back. Like, I mean, a lot of these guys, it's really just they are criminals that get the like apparatus to be criminals.
Well,
Like,
but the main Sinister Six lineup, right, is that you've got. I guess Vulture also falls
Doc
into
Ock.
that. He's got his suit and stuff. But
Yeah.
Doc Ock has a very specific origin and a pathos, right? You can't just have him put on a backpack. He's got to be a real character. Like Green Goblin. He's not part of the original Sinister Six, but he is in Amazing Spider-Man 2, so they probably would have used him. I guess they have him set up then, though. So, and there's
it's
Rhino.
fine.
Rhino's the other one, I guess, because he was in. He was also in that movie. So
yeah.
they kind of
but
set
it's
up as
fine.
much as you can do.
Bloody
right?
Mighty.
Yeah.
They don't have to be like the main versions of those characters. Maybe they just find those random backpacks.
but I
and
don't-
they're like,
But I don't want to watch a
knockoffs.
movie where Doc Ock's just a guy with a backpack, though. I want him to be Dr. Otto Octavius with this whole deal, like that movie that was really good, where he was that. So
and then he's the one who leads the heist. I don't know, maybe.
yeah, he's the leader of the Sinister Six in the thing. So he's
I
like
guess
not this
so.
like shadow man who they have in that movie for no reason at the end. It's like weird fedora guy walking around
Yeah.
like an X-Files thing or something. It's weird. They I know from that
The original is Electro, Kraven the Hunter, Mysterio, Sandman, and Vulture.
yeah.
And then Dr. Octopus brought them together.
Yeah, and most of those aren't really, at least like like Kraven and Mysterio are not in the Amazing Spider-Man universe, and they're not really in this whole Sony universe either. So I don't know what the Sinister Six lineup would have looked like. But
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
But I do think they were also clearly, because the MCU at times, because those movies were also like Sony produced, they sometimes feel like they're building to their own Sinister Six with like Vulture and Scorpion and Mysterio especially, like so. But
They haven't done anything with fucking Scorpion.
yeah, he's just
Did
been
an
in
after
jail.
credit scene that teased that, and there's been nothing.
Yeah, he's played by fucking Nacho, and he's doing nothing.
Oh, that's him, right?
Yeah. Lots of good Breaking Bad actors in the MCU, both of them, I guess. But yeah, there's it is very fun that they keep trying to set this up, and it feels like the plans change like between every single movie that like Spider-Man is in or any Spider-Man character is involved in at all. Like, because I know.
Yeah. Would you like to go over the possible movies that they had planned for
Absolutely.
Bump
Yeah.
that never happened?
Yeah, we've got let me see. Okay, we got other films are right here on the Wikipedia and everything. So the first one was Sinister Six, which they had been planning since like 2013, since they were doing Amazing Spider-Man stuff. We talked about that. And then of course it morphed and changed a whole bunch and stuff involving Venom and everything else. They wanted to do Night Watch.
I have no idea what that is, honestly.
Yeah,
He's a Marvel character. I don't know who Night Watch
all
is.
of these.
I have no fucking idea who Night Watch is. He was in Maximum Carnage, I
read
guess. He was in that.
Okay.
And they wanted
take your word
Spike
for it.
Lee to direct that movie, apparently.
Oh man, Night Watch is based off of Spawn. Like they saw that Spawn was doing well, and they're like, you should have a Spawn type character.
Yeah, he does look spawny, yeah. So
Yeah.
sure. I guess he could
Holy
do
shit.
sure, you could do a movie about that. They wanted to do Jackpot about
Which is the Mary Jane character, right?
her name is Sarah Arrett from 2007.
Maybe not.
She looks like Mary Jane, though. She does definitely. They are going for that, I think, to some degree. But that's weird that she's not actually Mary Jane. I don't know.
I think Mary Jane like took up the mantle.
Oh yeah, she
looks
took up
like
the
she did.
mantle of. She took up the mantle of Jackpot in 2023.
Yeah,
Okay, there you go.
Because just her line, "You hit the jackpot, Tiger,"
Yeah.
or whatever, when she's talking to
Yeah, because that is her line. But like they're clearly playing on that even for the first version, which isn't Mary Jane. So I don't. That's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Weird.
They were at one point. Robert Orsi was doing a Sony Spider-Man thing in 2020. They were working on that, and apparently that might have been even unrelated to Spider-Man. They said The quote was,
Wow.
it was from a different corner of the Marvel universe that Sony has access to. So, and Robert Orci is like Robert Orci works with like Kurtzman, and he does all the Star Trek. Yeah, so that probably would not have been good.
Yeah, probably.
They wanted to do an Olivia Wilde movie, which the rumor was that was about Spider-Woman. Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't do a bunch of other Spider-Man around Spider-Man characters. Spider-Woman, you could do Ben Reilly if you wanted.
Yeah.
You could do Scarlet
Kane.
Spider. Kane. Oh, I love Kane.
Yeah.
They could have done him.
They just come up with it because there's no shortage of spider people, and that's Spider-Verse is all about that stuff. Like, just put a bunch of them in, and you can have their origin go by in like a 5-second scene. We don't need origin movies about Madam Web and shit, like that all. That's fine.
Worried that it would like dilute the specialness of Spider-Man. I don't know. I don't know why they.
But that's like what.
Do that.
That's also what all of the Spider-Verse movies are about. Is about like finding your specialness compared to the other Spider-Mans. So that all, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Of course, next up we have El Muerto, the Bad Bunny film, where Bad Bunny would play El Muerto, who's in I think 2 random
like a
issues.
Wrestler character?
Yeah, he's just a wrestler with like super strength.
Did they literally just assign somebody to be like, find someone for Bad Bunny to be, and they just found this wrestler character?
I think that's like it. Yeah, that's like the one and only reason they were ever working on this movie.
It's just insane. And like as of last year, they were still working on it, even though Bad Bunny had like exited the movie. They were still like, we could still do El Muerto.
Yeah, they're like, we gotta get El Muerto working. We've announced it. We gotta make it work.
God.
And then next they had a Hypno Hustler movie with Donald Glover starring and producing that. Despite he also played, the Wikipedia even mentions here, he also played Prowler in Homecoming for a minute and appeared in Spider-Verse and stuff, but I guess he was just going to play another guy as well, the Hypno Hustler, who I don't know who the fuck Hypno Hustler is, but
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
what a guy.
Maybe he could go 1, 2, 3 and then shoot you in the back of the head, and that can be his superpower. Yeah. Apparently that movie's still like they haven't announced that they're done with that. They're still maybe working on that, so maybe we will get Hypno Hustler. Yeah. And apparently they also considered doing a Mysterio movie because they got Jake Gyllenhaal, so they might as well say, hey, we might do a Mysterio.
Well, yeah, he was amazing.
I don't know. He ended up in the SPUMC universe.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 things, 2 of which were like in active development and were like possible. One was a Silk TV show. It was called Silk Spider Society. If you guys don't know, Florian, do you know who Silk is?
No, I'm out of my depths. What are you guys
I barely know who
about
Silk
here?
is. She's
Silk is like I read the comics that she first appeared in. She's like a Asian woman that got spider powers the exact same time as Peter. She was like bitten by the exact same spider somehow.
That's
and
good.
she's like she starts out as like a feral, like overtaken by her powers character, and then I guess she becomes a superhero named Silk. I don't really know anything else about her. It's just funny to me that they were like so hit on that they wanted to do that. I'm trying to think. The Angela Kang, who worked on quite a lot of The Walking Dead for a time, was supposed to do that, and then they said that it was too female focused. This woman character was too female focused, so they took it away from her and tried to have somebody else work on it.
Okay.
So that's what we're gonna happen.
Oh god, that says they were retooling it to be more male skewing in February 2024. This is like so 5 years after Captain Marvel made $1 billion and stuff. That's fucking crazy.
Yes.
We can't do a girl Spider-Man, and then they released Madam Web though. So like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Right. I don't get it. And then the last one here is Silver and Black, which was a Black Cat and Silver Sable project, which I've been hearing on and off for years and years and years. They wanted to do that.
They were going to do 2 separate movies on each of them at one point, and then they put them
and then
together.
They combined them. They were,
They
were like, actually, there's not enough for either of these. We'll just combine them.
Yeah.
So funny.
I don't know. And you know what else I'm seeing on this Wikipedia though? The SPUMC may not be dead. It may not even be down because the Spider Noir series with Nicolas Cage is coming out.
Yes.
And it's on the Wikipedia for SPUMC at the very least. If Madame Web's in its own universe, which it might be or might not be, then I don't know. Spider Noir can be in its own other universe, I guess. So,
I mean, he's already from a different universe to begin with.
Yeah.
Right.
Well.
Yeah. This is more like a live action spin-off of the animated stuff than anything else, right?
Probably, but they also could just say it's in the Venom universe, and yeah, the real Spider-Man of the Venom universe was born in like the 30s. They could say that, why not? They really wanted to.
Wait, no, isn't that universe actually black and white?
Well, it is in the cartoon, but I feel like they're not going to give it half the sauce that he has in the cartoon.
Honestly,
they're gonna.
It probably won't be black and white, but it'll probably be very monochromatic, if I had to guess. Like there will be color, but it'll be very, very monochromatic. That's what I would do.
I mean, I hope the show doesn't suck, right? But I mean, most of Sony's Spider-Man projects are no good, so it's like really. But this one it probably has Lord and Miller involved, right, to some degree. So.
Yeah, they're executive producers. It seemed like they were pretty involved.
Okay,
that's good. They were hyping it up on Twitter or whatever. Yeah, it's gonna be on MGM Plus.
Oh, great!
What the hell is even on MGM Plus?
Well, that's Amazon owns MGM, so that should just be Amazon Prime, right? Or what is?
No, that's a separate streaming service.
Oh,
like it's.
Hey. Okay. Well, I'm not getting MGM Plus to watch that, so that's not gonna do.
Right.
That's gonna. Great. Okay.
Wow.
You'll have to wait until it's absorbed by something else.
Yeah. I'll wait, or I'll just watch it for free. But yeah.
You would do that. Wow.
Yeah, I would. But there's I did not pay to watch Madame Web last night. Don't you worry. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but supposedly the future for all, they announced pretty recently that they're going to let Lord and Miller kind of be like a Kevin Feige kind of role on all future Spider-Man Sony things is the plan apparently, which is probably a good idea.
That's a good role for them to have. Yeah.
Yeah, because they made pull a DC with like hiring James Gunn kind of thing. They made the really good one, so they get to be in charge now and just make all the rest of them because they have ideas for like more stuff. Clearly, they have a lot of broad-reaching kind of concepts for cool things, so it could work. Maybe the future is bright for SPUMC.
Wow.
Could be.
I guess this funeral was preemptive.
Yeah, this is a premature funeral, but
yeah.
They announced it was dead, but then they might have announced that it's not really dead, so who knows? We'll see.
What does that mean? What did they say?
They said they were done. Or it was at least reported as if it were dead. I don't know what I didn't read their statement, I guess, so.
I guess they probably just canceled like 1 or 2 movies and then people over-assumed.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's great.
Well, I guess we're still SPUMC kicking.
We're still SPUMCing about. It'll never be done. Because, honestly, I kind of, I don't really, I'm not really sad that Spider-Verse did well because it is like a great movie. I'm glad we have a really good animated Spider-Man movie.
It's your favorite.
Yeah, but it is unfortunate that this means that all of this bullshit will just keep going, and they're never going to get to a point where they just give up and sell to Marvel, So Spider-Man can just be in a fucking Avengers movie and it can't be a problem. Because I remember a couple years back, there was a whole bunch of drama over like whether they were gonna, oh no, they used up all 5 of their movies, so what if they're gonna have to renegotiate the deal? We might not get Spider-Man 3, and then they figured it out and we got No Way Home, but yeah. There's gonna be drama over this like renegotiating this Marvel deal every single time.
Yeah. Tom Holland's gonna have to cry to Bob Iger and saying, "Please, sir, please let me be in Marvel movies again."
Yeah. And there's always going to be some nonsense where like Venom's going to show up in a fucking Spider-Man 4 or something or whatever.
Well, he should.
Well, but they made it all so complicated because they're in different universes. So if they were
Who cares?
I've seen rumors that like Venom is going to be the villain of Spider-Man 4, and if they do that, he's going to have to
happen.
Well, he would have to come back to the MCU again, which like or maybe it's like because it's also set between like Doomsday and Secret War, so maybe like they're on Battle World or something, maybe. But like
I don't know.
You can't.
Yeah, that'd be
it's already
great.
fucked up to have a Spider-Man movie that would take place in like Battle World or whatever, but I don't know. So like, it's just such a mess that they've made with all this Spider-Man properties and nonsense and stuff. It's all fractured and broken and weird. They have, and like Marvel's not helping because they got a cartoon coming out that's set in an alternate MCU, which was going to be an MCU cartoon on Spider-Man's origin.
What's that called?
It was Spider-Man.
It's Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was going to be freshman year about Tom Holland's like before Civil War or whatever, but they decided against that. And made it its own thing.
The show we got is so much better than what they would have done. They would have been so limited by what they could do if they just had him kind of like going around fighting nobody.
Yeah, fighting whoever he fought that was smaller than the Vulture in Homecoming. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but that's I don't know. I guess it's good that we can get so many like different and weird Spider-Man projects, you know. But it is also frustrating that we can't get like none of these movies since like Amazing Spider-Man 2 have been about Spider-Man swinging around Manhattan and fighting a Spider-Man villain, you know? They've all had like Iron Man shows up and does bullshit, or like he's in Queens, or he's in Washington DC, or he's in Italy, or like or it's just a Venom movie. Like it's all weird.
Like I can feel for them because they were trying to distinguish themselves from the Raimi movies, but like you need to put Spider-Man back where he belongs. Yeah. Like you can't keep doing this bullshit and still call it Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I hear that Daredevil might be in the Spider-Man movie they do.
You know what?
If there's a lot of good.
Yes.
Yeah, if Spider-Man 4 is about Spider-Man teaming up with Daredevil and fighting like a Spider-Man villain, I'll be happy
Regular
with that.
crime.
Yeah.
Or Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah, if they get him closer to comic book, you know, like cartoon comic book Spider-Man that people really like because he's down on his luck and stuff, you know. Just do that.
Yeah.
He's struggling with his finances.
From what I had heard, there was a fight between Marvel Studios and between Sony. Sony wanted to like bring and do more multiverse stuff, and they wanted to bring back Andrew Garfield and bring back Tobey Maguire again, and then Marvel Studios wanted to be more ground level and a bit more normal.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see what happened.
And they want to do that. Like, I feel like the MCU's instinct should be to go more multiverse, but the reason that they would want that is because everyone is like clamoring for grounded Spider-Man, and especially because of that, the cliffhanger in No Way Home is like really leaning to that.
Right. Because he's like separated from everything else in his life. And...
Yeah. So that could be like a fantastic, more traditional Spider-Man kind of story, you know. And I don't like they could for Spider-Man 5 they could go right back to whatever, but as long as they nail Spider-Man 4 as like a really good normal Spider-Man where he looks like normal Spider-Man and he's fighting normal Spider-Man villains and he's poor and living in an apartment and whatever. That's all I want out of that.
Yeah.
Well,
he should live a terrible life.
Yeah.
I'm fine getting an Iron Spider. That's fun too. Why?
So we already got that though. We did 3 movies of like Iron Man, Spider-Man.
Stop with that shit.
Yeah, we had like where like the solution.
No, but he's still growing up. Like I want him to be like fully grown already. Jeez.
He's in college. He's as grown up as Spider-Man has ever been fun. You know. They never let Spider-Man be fun when he's like a full adult, because then they erase his marriage and stuff. So it's all.
Read Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, the new Ultimate Spider-Man.
I gotta check that out. Yeah, that seems like they finally let him be happy as an adult for fucking once. Yeah, so that'll be good. But yeah, it's like what the Iron Man stuff is. I think if it were mostly. I feel like maybe 3 movies is a bit much for it, you know, because it is like at the end of Far From Home, he's like on a jet with Happy Hogan designing a new fucking Iron Man Spider-Man costume. It's like
I hated that shit so much.
Yeah, and it's like it's getting away from what the core of the Spider-Man character is that people really like, and I think you know, I feel like they got closer with No Way Home just because even if he is in this like penthouse, beautiful like high money apartment kind of thing and stuff, and he's with his Aunt May and everything living with him and stuff. Like even that's at least closer because he's like miserable and it's like a really big trial and he's sad and stuff, you know? So like, yeah.
Wow, at least he's miserable. Cool.
Yeah. Spider-Man is, he's often
core
torn
part of the
between
character.
He's dealing with tragedy and he's torn between his responsibility and his like happiness, you know, so.
If he wins one thing, he has to lose a huge amount somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you
Wow,
were
a
allowed
cursed
to just stop
Spider-Man.
being, yeah, well, it's like, I mean, Spider-Man 2 kind of had a, or no, yeah, it was Spider-Man 2, Raimi's Spider-Man 2. They show like how happy he is and carefree and how good his life is and how his grades all start improving and he's doing really good the moment he quits being Spider-Man. He's like instantly really successful and doing great and on the path to like a perfectly good life. But then he's like,
I mean,
there's like
if you're
villains
a
about
superhero.
Yeah.
You gotta be that. I mean, you gotta be really good at everything. So
like,
it makes sense.
Yeah, but like because he's got this responsibility and he feels this need to go out and help people and improve the world and stuff, he can't.
He has to suffer for it personally.
Yeah, and he,
It's a trade-off.
Yeah, and I feel like in the comics they could balance this a little bit. He could be like down on his luck and dealing with bills and stuff, but maybe he is still married and he has a kid or whatever. He could be like have a family that he's happy with, and whatever. But they're not.
But like you could have things where like his kids are fighting each other, or they're like fighting at school, or there's like some problem with their like
more
there's
like
all kinds
real
of
problems
things
that an adult deals with and stuff. Yeah,
but they're probably afraid that becomes too realistic, like it's too close to actual people's lives. They want the fantastical Spider-Man parts as well.
I always hear that they're worried about aging Spider-Man and making like if he got a divorce, he would seem old and stuff, And like there's. The thing that I've heard is that some of these Marvel executives might be a little insecure that like their teenage favorite character is now like getting a divorce just like they are
growing up.
Yeah, it's like but yeah, it's sort of, but that's like from what I know what's going on in the main Spider-Man comics is he's like getting cucked now by Paul or something. That's
Paul.
like what he's dealing with. That's all I know. I just know he's getting cucked by Paul and everyone fucking hates Paul, so yeah. I don't know. Paul should show up and be the new love interest for MJ in Spider-Man 4.
But how does it figure? How is it possible that Spider-Man is like an Avenger, but then he's down on his luck? Why can't he just win for once? I'd like to see that.
Well, we know from whatchamacallit, from Captain America and the Winter Soldier, or I'm sorry, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That they don't get a stipend as Avengers. Like they're not paid. It's not a paid position.
But the Avengers aren't really like a real organization by then anyway. They've already broken down after Civil War and stuff. So
yeah, but I'm sure he inherited like all of Stark's money or something. I don't know.
Well, that's what they were sort of going toward. Is like he had all the Stark stuff before, but now they've erased him, so no one knows him, and he's free to be in poverty and have to do a real job in the next movie.
Wow.
Which I hope that turns out good. But yeah.
Just what you wanted. How convenient.
Yeah. Listen. There's already more Spider-Man stuff than like any other character in the world except for like Batman, but I'm winning extra because it's the specific Spider-Man I want, and I will be mad if they don't do it. So I'm gonna be the entitled Spider-Man fan.
Watch that Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show and tell me what you think about it. I think it's a very interesting inversion of the version of Peter that we see in the MCU.
Yeah, I'll give that a watch.
I'm interested to see what you think about it.
It's out already. Maybe I should see it.
Actually, the entire show just ended.
Cool. Well, the first season,
the last 2 episodes.
They got seasons 2 and 3 coming, so yeah. But there's I don't really want to watch TV shows because I know Letterboxd is going to add TV later, and I don't want to rewatch these things.
You don't have to log them.
Yeah, so
let's keep a list somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna start writing my reviews for every episode just in a document somewhere, and then upload it when they add this feature.
Why do you care about Letterboxd?
Because I love Letterboxd. I've created a prison for myself where I can't watch a movie unless I review it afterward on the site.
Unless you log it,
yeah. But I don't let myself just watch a movie and log it. I have to write like a long review, so
At least you were losing weight for some time, but now why do you keep going to Letterboxd? I don't understand.
Listen,
just let it go.
I love Letterboxd. It's a super fun app. Okay, I watched 73 movies this year so far.
Wow.
You gotta pump those numbers up.
You're just procrastinating. Oh no.
Listen, I can figure it out. Okay, it'll be good. We'll get this sorted.
Make videos, please.
I know. I gotta get back on it. That's fine. We'll do it. Okay. You know what? I found an app that lets you log your hours worked and stuff. like create like a project for yourself and then log how many hours you worked on the project, and I'm gonna see if I can apply my letterbox like need to pump the numbers into like productivity and doing a fucking YouTube video. So
Wow.
I'll see if that works. Yeah,
Wouldn't that be nice?
that would be. I mean, if I can trick my brain into like, oh, I gotta get the number up, you know, then I can do anything. I think so. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, potentially be great.
Yeah. Do we have anything?
God damn it! You watched more movies this year than me. I watched 71.
Oh my god, you're both doing
Yeah.
it. Why? Why are you
I
both?
can't believe
73.
you're beating me.
I'm beating you.
Jesus Christ!
That's what happens when
I should
you.
have seen Nishatsu tomorrow.
I hurt my ankle a couple weeks ago, and I used that as an excuse to sit down and watch like every MCU movie front to back.
Oh
so
my god!
I was watching 3 a
Okay.
day of those for a while. That was pretty cool.
That's how you did it.
Yeah,
you
beat
bastard, you
that.
son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'll keep it going. I'll just log a bunch of
I'll
short
try.
films just to get the number. I'll watch like
Oh,
300
no.
3-minute movies today or something. Yeah,
You
Wow, what do you have to say about them?
I'll win this. I'll win this fight. We'll have to check in at the end of the year and see who won. Yeah.
Be like Dragon Ball Z characters. Where
Yeah.
It's like we're like trading.
My power level has reached 20,000 power point. I don't know how it actually works, right? It's over 9,000, whatever it is. That's all I know.
Yeah.
It-
Over
it's-
9,000.
It's like that Dragon Ball Z knockoff that's called Divorced Dads, and they just have like the most pathetic superpowers, and it's hilarious.
Hell yeah,
Wow.
that's good.
Yep.
Do we have anything
All
more
right,
to say
well-
on the Spunk?
Rest in peace, Splunk. I just want to say it was a pleasure to watch these movies where, in a world where the MCU is so ascendant and so like completely dominating, it's nice to see something where the people really don't have an idea of what they want to do. The movies are more like the movies from the 90s and early 2000s, where they're kind of just like taking a character and then going in a direction, and it's not so like perfected. Like the MCU for a while was just like, yeah, we can grab any character and we'll figure out a way for them to fit into the movie we want to make. It was nice while the Spunk was alive that we got these like 90s adjacent takes on the characters. So even if they weren't very good, I did enjoy that kind of like off the wall, not quite right version of them.
Okay. Well, I've been praying on the Spunk's downfall from the start. I was hoping and praying that Venom would fucking lose money and they'd stop it and all of this would end and they would just sell it back to Marvel. I want to see Sony burn fucking Avi Arad. He did the fucking Borderlands movie and now he's going to do the Zelda movie. He's getting into other franchises that I don't want his fucking hands on. He's going to fuck up
He was
everything for me.
contained.
He was
then your
contained in
curse
Venom, but
has
now he's going to
unleashed
fucking
him.
Zelda. Yeah, it's awful. So
You've done this.
I want all these people. I want all this to end. I want fucking Amy Pascal. She threw a sandwich at Kevin Feige over this shit. I want her gone. I want all this to end. So rest in piss, fucking Spunk. And I hope you're dead for good.
Would you rather get a Spider-Verse 3 movie or Spunk like dies?
God, I would have to say just one more.
Spunk dying. If the cost of Spunk dying was you didn't get a third Spider-Verse movie, would you be okay with that trade?
Oh man,
Honestly,
that would suck.
probably not. No, I probably would let the Spunk because
Choose hero.
you're fucking Green Goblining me, goddamn. But
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
do I choose all the children or my girlfriend? Fuck them kids, yeah.
Or suffer the little children.
Yeah, but well, I would choose to keep Spunk around for the sake of Spider-Verse, I guess, because those movies are like absurdly
Those
good.
movies are
Yeah.
superlative.
If they were like if those movies were like an 8 out of 10, I might be tempted to kill Spunk for them. Yeah, but they're
Wow.
so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as mad as I am
got
about
us
Spunk, I
honest
could
them.
just not watch them. So we didn't have to do this episode. I didn't have to watch Craven. I could have just not. So
I mean, you
could have chosen.
clearly enjoyed doing it.
Did he?
I enjoyed talking about
You
it.
could have chosen.
Yeah,
Could have chosen the path of peace, but you chose violence.
Yeah. Well, as we established in Captain America, as long as I can enjoy talking about a movie after I've seen it, it's basically worth it for me.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
We spent more than 2 hours talking about it, so
Yeah.
was it really that bad that you had to watch Kraven the Hunter?
No, I guess not.
Well, I thought these movies could have been great, but I guess it's shocking that they could have put Spider-Man in and they didn't. Like, how... It would have just automatically been better if there had been Spider-Man in it. This is so stupid. Why would they worry about devaluing him? Like, they're already doing that. It's insane.
I don't know. I think it is. They were just paranoid about, people would get confused or something, or Tom Holland doesn't want to do it or whatever. So I don't know. But yeah, they should have just had like a Spider-Man because that would be way better in Venom 1, right? That would be so much better than him fighting Riot, If he fought Spider-Man at the end and he got his ass kicked and he went to jail. Yeah, that'd be so funny. They could work for like this comedy anti-hero superhero movie. That'd be great. Yeah. I
mean, the first one was pretty good, but like the second one, that would have been fine for sure if he just had fought Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, if he fought Spider-Man and if they teamed up and fought Carnage, it could be so cool.
Yeah, that would have actually been so amazing if he, like, just them realizing that they need each other, and then Spider-Man is trying to be somewhat serious, and then just Venom is just such a pain to work with.
Yeah.
Then it would have actually made sense. Damn.
Yeah, that would be very good. I'm just imagining scenes from this movie now in my head, and they feel like good scenes, but whatever. We're not getting it. It's never happening. They might never make a movie where Spider-Man fights Venom again. It might just not happen. So I'm sure someday.
I think Marvel. It's definitely in Marvel's plans that eventually he'll get the black suit. It's got
maybe. Well, Secret Wars and stuff. They could be leading into that. Yeah. So maybe Ned will get the black suit. He'll be Nedum.
Man, the CEO of sex.
Yeah.
Nedum.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that the future's gonna be like super AI, and then we'll just be in a Ready Player One future where every property exists at the same time, and there's like perfect movies of everything.
You can just generate your own movie, and you can choose which Spider-Man fights Tom Hardy's Venom when you generate it.
Exactly. It will be
we
fine.
didn't talk about the fact that the first Venom movie ends with an Eminem song where it's just called Venom.
Oh yeah, he goes Venom, Venom, Venom,
Venom,
Venom,
Adrenaline, Venom.
Yeah, that's a hit. It's a classic.
I wish that every movie had that. I wish there was a song about Morbius.
Yeah.
I wish there was a song about Kraven the Hunter. I wish there was a song about Madam Web.
Her web connects them all. The song they should have. Yeah.
They should have been. But like. That is such a 90s thing, is that like you'd have a movie and then you'd have like a theme song that touches on the movie. Like, God, we lost so much.
Yeah, and they're still in the mindset of like, we need to make this like Raimi's Spider-Man from 2001, and there's so much of Raimi's Spider-Man in these movies, just in the way that they look and the way that they're made and stuff and things like that, where it's we got to end it with this silly rock song and stuff. So. Yeah, very good.
Sounds good to me. Well,
that's it for SPUMC. Do you guys? What do you want to plug anything here, Florian?
Watch my video on how degrowth is a stupid idea or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I just did like a reaction video to communism, and I think it turned out pretty well, surprisingly.
Reacting to communism.
Now, you said the word degrowth there, to be clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is Wisecrack video. That's what I'm reacting to, if you know that channel.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, vaguely.
I know that channel.
Yeah.
You did?
They do... I forget what they do. They do some show that I always saw the title and thought that was a stupid idea. I would never watch a video like this, and then I didn't, so... I don't know.
Yeah. Good.
I guess you'll never know.
Yeah.
You lived up to your own morals.
Yeah. Erich, what do you have to plug, Erich?
You can find me on Letterboxd, Revan103, where I recently watched 2 Chinese movies because the movie Naza is doing incredibly in China right now.
Hell yeah.
I watched Neza, the first one, and then I watched Zia, sorry, which is a spin-off of it, and these are very well done animated movies that I really enjoyed.
Oh.
And Chinese cultural domination is coming, so y'all better get used to it.
Yeah, I saw a revenge movie that was from China where a guy had an umbrella made out of razor blades.
Whoa, that sounds
Yeah.
cool as fuck.
Yeah,
Wow, he needs to see that one, huh? Right away.
most of it was like a Shakespearean sort of thing, and most of it was very grounded and not
Naturally.
there was some like heightened elements that were kind of neat, but I only watched it because on the Amazon, like when you're on Amazon Prime and you get like a little preview of it, the preview was of the razor blade umbrella, and I kind of expected the whole movie would have crazy action stuff like
Should
that.
just be that. Yeah.
It didn't really, but it was still very good and a very beautifully shot movie and stuff, so it was a very good time too. Yeah.
Wow.
I forget
Does
what
it
it's
have
called.
dubs?
I think it's probably got a dub you can watch, yeah. I watched
Wow.
it subtitled, I don't remember what it was. What was this called? Let me get the name of it real quick. It's just called Shadow from 2018, I
Wow.
mean, sorry, yeah. It was pretty good. Pretty fun movie, yeah.
Is there a new Attack on Titan movie?
Oh, I
That's
don't know.
pretty.
Yeah.
Guess I need to see that.
Yeah. I thought that was over. I thought they finished Attack on Titan.
Yeah, but I don't know. I swear I've seen a movie of it somewhere.
Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Goodbye to the SPUMC. May you
Rest in peace.
May you die in hell again and again. May you release Morbius every single year in hell, SPUMC. Goodbye.
Goodbye,
All right.
everyone.
Bye bye.